Welcome to Legacy IAS. So, we will be continuing with our topic of time, speed, and distance. This is the last part of it where we'll be dealing with circular races. Okay, this is the most advanced this topic gets to. Now, see, in circular races, you see two kinds of questions that are asked. First is they'll ask you, let's say there are two people, they start racing at the same time. Let's say from here, both A and B start. Now they'll ask you, A is going at some speed and B is going at some other speed. So their speeds are different. Let's say B is going much faster. So B will be ahead moving like this and A will be somewhere behind like this. Correct? And then they'll ask you when they will meet next. So they were together at the start, when they'll meet next. So there simply you need to find the LCM. Times are given to you that this much time it takes for A to complete one round, for B to complete one round, this much time it takes. Simply you need to find the LCM that we usually did in the HCL LCM chapter of number system. So that is fine. Now another type of question that is asked is this, that is how many times they would cross or meet in a duration. For this there is an entire process that we will be learning. That means instead of asking you when they will meet next or giving you timings, they will just tell you speeds of A and B, and then based on that speed they will ask you in the next 1.5 hours or in the next 2 hours how many times they will cross each other or how many times they'll meet. Okay, so this is what is usually asked. Now understand one thing. Now A and B can be, let's say they start from here, both of them are here. Now they can be moving in the same direction at different speeds. Let's say A is moving in this direction and B is also moving in the same direction. Now when can they meet next? If they have different velocities, let's call that A completes 2 rounds per minute and B completes, let's say, 4 rounds per minute. Just intuition you have to develop here. So A completes 2 rounds in 1 minute and B completes 4 rounds in 1 minute. Now when they will cross each other, understand that B is moving ahead, so B will keep on moving ahead, keep moving ahead of A, and A will be following B. They will only cross when B completes one more round than A. Okay, that is the only scenario they can meet. Otherwise, if B is going in this direction and A is also going in this direction, then this gap will never be covered. This gap can only be covered. Let's say this is B, this is A. Now A is moving slowly like this. So A is moving, this is A is moving slowly like this. Okay, and this is B. Now they have to meet. Now B is faster, so B will keep moving with a much more distance between A and B. Eventually they can meet when A has moved just slightly and B catches one more round and catches A somewhere here. So A has moved only this much, and in that time B has moved this whole circle and then came to meet A. That is when the difference between them covers one round. Okay, so as you know, if they are going both in same direction, the speeds are subtracted. So speeds will be subtracted, and with this speed they will have to cover one round to cross one time. Correct? Now if they are moving in opposite direction, that is A is here and B is here at the start. Now A is moving in this direction and B is moving in this direction. Okay, now what will happen? This is A, let's say. Now A is moving at some speed and B is moving at some other speed. Now they can meet. How they can meet? Now can you see that they need not go one full round? Let's say B is traveling faster, so B travels this much. Not completed one round yet, and A moves this much, and they can meet. Can you see? Both of them have not completed one round and they meet. Here B had completed one round and then came back and then met A. Correct? So here they can, even if now if you see, B has traveled this much and A has traveled this much, so together they are completing one round and then they meet. So this becomes if their speeds of A and B are whatever, then this will be, now because they are moving in opposite direction, their speeds will be added, and with this S1 plus S2 they will try to cover one round. When one round gets completed, they'll meet. Understood? If they are moving in same direction, then difference of their speed must become equal to one round, and here if they are moving in the opposite direction, the sum of the speeds should be able to cover one round. Those will give us the timings when they'll meet. Okay, understood? Now let's get to the questions. Yeah, all these are PYQs only. So this was asked in CSE 2022. Now what it says? It says X and Y run a 3-kilometer race along a circular course of length 300 meters. Okay, now what is the length of the total race? Total length of the race is 3 kilometers or 3000 meters. Now this is the total race. Now the course length is only 300 meters. Course length is only 300 meters. That means to complete this entire race, they have to cover 10 rounds of that same track. For example, you go to a garden and you have, let's say, an aim of I'll cover 4 kilometers, I'll walk for 4 kilometers today. Now the garden won't be a 4 kilometer circumference. This won't be 4 kilometers. Let's say this garden is only of 400 meters. Then what you will do? You will cover 10 rounds of this garden to cover 4000 meters or 4 kilometers. Similarly, they are doing it here as well. So there are 3000 meters they have to cover, 3 kilometer race is there, 300 meters is the length of this entire track. So therefore they will cover 10 rounds. Now next, their speeds are in the ratio 3:2. If they start together in the same direction, how many times would the first one pass the other? So their speeds are given. Speed of A and speed of B is given as 3:2 X and Y. So speed of X and speed of Y is given as 3:2. Now how many times would they meet? Would the first one pass the other? That is, they meet. The start of is not counted as passing. At the start, whatever is there, that is not counted as passing. Now these are their speeds. Now speeds are in ratio 3:2. So I can assume it to be anything. I can assume it to be 3 km per hour and 2 km per hour, not a problem. Or 3 km per second and 2 km per second, does not matter. So I would usually in this chapter, because we are covering a track that is circular, we usually think in terms of this will cover 3 rounds in 1 minute in 1 minute, and this will cover 2 rounds in 1 minute. This you understand? This means that the speed of X is 3 rounds per minute and the speed of Y is 2 rounds per minute. Now if you take their ratio, it will be 3:2. Fine. The ratio is 3:2. So what I assume that they cover that when this X covered 3 rounds, Y covers only 2 rounds and then they meet. Correct? Now whatever is the difference here, now I need to, when this is X, when X covers 3 rounds, so 1, 2, 3. Now X is here. In the same time, Y will cover 2 rounds. So Y will go like 1 and 2. So they will meet here. Correct? So that is the time when they meet. So after X covers 3 rounds, they meet once. That means after X covers 3 rounds they cross. After X covers 3 rounds they cross, then the question is how many times they will cross in the entire race. Now entire race means what? Now if they both are running for 3 kilometers, that means they will go for 10 rounds. Now if one of them reaches, then that is the end point, that you won't call as crossing. So what I want X2, because X is faster, I want X to cover 10 rounds, and in that time I'll see how many rounds Y covers, correct? So when X covers 3 rounds, Y covers 2 rounds. When X covers 10 rounds, how many rounds Y will cover? So Y will cover 2 by 3 into 10, correct? Because their ratio has to be 3:2. So X ratio Y has to be 3:2. Now if X is covering 10, then Y is asked. So it will be what? This question mark will be equal to 10 into 2 by 3. That's it. So 2 by 3 into 10. So this came out to be 10 rounds, and this came out to be 20 by 3, that is 6.66 rounds. Now here the difference was of 1 round, so I said it will cover, they will meet one time. Now here the difference is approximately of 3.33 rounds, and the race is completed. Why? Because one of them has completed 10 rounds. So if you got 3.33 rounds, that means how many times they will meet? You just need to worry about the whole number here, that is 3. That means they will meet how many times? They will meet 3 times. That's it. First you found out the ratio, then you understood this, the ratio is 3:2, then you assume that this was completion of 3 rounds, this was completion of 2 rounds. Now one of them has to complete 10 rounds for the race to get completed. So you make the faster one complete 10 rounds. In that time you see how many rounds has Y completed. Whatever is the difference, that will give you how many times they can meet. Now of course it has to be in whole numbers. So you pick the whole number, that becomes your answer. Simple. Then next, now in the first one we were taking the difference, as we got 10 here and 6.66 here, then we took the difference and got 3.33. Why we took the difference? Because they were going in same direction. They were going in same direction. Now see this question, in this they will be going in opposite direction, so we'll have to take the sum of them. Okay, so let's see this. What it says, A and B walk around a circular track. They start at 8 AM from the same point in the opposite directions. Okay, so let's say A moves in, this is the starting point, A moves in this direction and B moves in this direction, opposite directions. Okay, A and B walk at a speed of 2 rounds per hour and 3 rounds per hour. So A is walking at 2 rounds per hour and B is walking at 3 rounds per hour. Now how many times shall they cross each other after 8 AM and before 9:30? Now they are moving in opposite direction. Now some time duration is given to you, that is the time duration is 1.5 hours. How many times they will meet? Now see this, together they have to complete one circle, correct? So here the speeds will be added, so S1 plus S2, you get 5 rounds per hour. This means what? Together, that is if I add both of their, whatever work both of them do, if I add them, so together they cover 5 rounds in 1 hour. Together they cover 5 rounds in 1 hour. A covered 2 rounds in 1 hour, B covered 3 rounds in 1 hour. Together they cover 5 rounds in 1 hour. Now they cover 5 rounds in 1 hour. Now what is asked? In 1.5 hour, because from 8 to 9:30. So in 1 hour they complete 5 rounds together. In 1.5 hours, how many rounds they will complete? So they will complete 5 into, now in 1 hour they complete 5 rounds. So in 1.5 hours, they will complete how many? 1.5 into 5 rounds. That is 7.5 rounds. Correct? Again, you will take this whole number. This is the number of times they will meet. So answer becomes 7. That's it. Understood? First, in the first case, we had to find the difference and then see what is the difference between them in terms of round. That became our answer. In the second one, we have to take sum of speeds because they are moving in opposite direction, and then we calculated in 1 hour they will complete how many rounds, and in 1.5 hour they will complete how many rounds. That's it. Then last is this. Last is the other type of question that we saw. 3 men start together to travel the same way around a circular track of 11 kilometers. Okay. Then their speeds are 4, 5.5 and 8 km per hour respectively. When will they meet at the starting point for the first time? When they will meet at the starting point for the first time? This is very easy. How? Because you know how much time each of them takes. Then simply you have to take the LCM, like we have done questions in number system where it involved 3 different color lights and they used to light up at different times, red, yellow and green. Then it was asked when they will light up together, like that questions. So what you were doing there, you were just finding the LCM. Same thing you will do here also. Now you take the timings T1, T2 and T3 and find their LCM. That's it. That is the time when they will meet for the first time again at the start. So simply find the LCM. Now LCM of what? Time 1 is what? 11 km at 4 km per hour. So 11 by 4, because time is equals to distance by speed. So distance 11 km, speed is 4. Then next is distance 11, speed is 5.5. Next is 11 and speed is 8. Okay. Now solve this. LCM of this is 11 by 4. This is fine. 5.5 by 11 is actually 2. Then 11 by 8, it will remain 11 by 8. This can be written as 2 by 1. Now, how do you find LCM of fractions? That you must know. So, it will be what? It will be in the LCM you will have something bigger. So, this has to be HCF of whatever is below, that is 4, 1, 8 and LCM of whatever is above. So what you get? 11, 2 and 11. What is the LCM? LCM is 22 and 4, 1 and 8. What is the HCF? HCF is 1. So what answer you got? You got after 22 hours they will meet at the same point again. Understood? 2 types of questions. First was related to time when they will meet. Next, for that you simply find the LCM. The other was when they are going in same direction on a circular track and when they are going in opposite direction. When they are going in same direction, you find the difference between the speeds, and difference between the rounds give you the answer. Here the sum of whatever rounds they cover in 1 hour or whatever time, that gives you the answer. That's it for the circular races. Thank you.